This my mama can't stay patient. Not worry about the time that I wasted. All of my scars went vacant. I cut all the snakes I was hating. I swear they was testing my patience. I swear they was testing my patience. They want a nigga to crash out so they can all have a laugh now.
Welcome to Original Minds, an Intrisio podcast. We're not here to act like we have it figured out. We're in the middle of building something. And this is what it actually feels like. This is what we're learning while we build Intrisio. So let's start with this. What has this actually been like compared to what we thought it would be?
From the outside, it looks inspiring. From the inside, it's confusing, messy, and way harder than you'd expect.
Way harder than you'd expect. Big B, tell me, what do we think this was going to feel like?
Well, I thought this journey was gonna be easy, but it's not. It hasn't been easy. But I've come to learn. I've come to love the process of making music. So that's what I will take away from it is loving the process.
Loving the process?
Loving the process.
When you say easy, I mean, what
What is that?
how's it gotten harder? Or
It's gotten harder because now I'm into like the meat of it. The meat of like, you know how you have a plate and you get into the meat of it, like the thick of it. And you didn't realize all the things that you needed to do like before then, like
I would say it's getting real, right?
it's getting real. It's getting real. Like
the
I
depth
have
of
to
what you're trying to do.
I have to focus on one thing. I can't focus on many things that are going around. I have to focus on that one thing
I
and
get
make
what you're
sure
saying.
and make sure I'm tapped in.
It's like if you were looking at it from a macro side. You don't want to look at the big picture. You want to
Right.
kind of break it down little by little and build build something for yourself.
Right.
That makes sense.
So what is it, Rocket, I mean, in your opinion, then what does it feel like now? What did you think it was going to feel like, and what does it feel like now?
I thought the grind and effort honestly had a ceiling, but in reality, it was just made of glass in a sense that it was just there for us to reach a new level, and I wasn't really understanding of that in that sense. Like in my head, I was like, we're doing all the necessary steps to get where we want to be,
Right.
but there was another level that we can take it to, if that
Facts.
makes sense.
And I would say even now I'm much more appreciative of it because I know it could all be taken away.
Right.
Just like that.
It's more, it feels like mastering your craft, like honing your skills, developing expertise instead of like trying to understand the basics of something, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think at the beginning it was kind of shiny, kind of new.
Right. It's like
now,
a new
since
toy.
we've been going through it for so long, you lose that shiny factor.
Right.
You lose the exciting part of it sometimes. I think a big thing for me was I thought the growth would be faster. That was something I had to learn and settle down, especially now I'm much older, but as a 20-year-old kid thinking you're going to blow up any day.
Right. It can happen
Thinking
at
it's going to
any moment.
happen over and over again, and then realizing, no, you're actually nowhere where you need to be at all.
Yeah.
You're fooling yourself if you think you are. But that's also a good mindset to have, which is I've got a long way to grow. I've got a long way to go, because that's, I think, what's been the biggest key point in trying to push me forward and trying to push us forward is continuing to believe that there's more to learn
Right.
and there's more to grow.
It's a big thing.
The dream doesn't disappear. Really, it just starts asking more from you. Like we've said, it gets real. And that's where it starts getting real.
Right.
Because now you've got to balance everything.
Right. It's hard to chase something big when life is asking everything of you, right? How do you keep going when you're tired, Ben? Like, what keeps you motivated when everything in your life is just beating you down? How do you keep going?
I just push the thought away. When I get tired, I think the number one thing I do is I just try to reinforce my self-belief. And I start doing something. Thinking when you're tired is dangerous.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. It's easier to just do than think. Whenever I feel like I don't want to do something or I'm starting to drift, I just do anything I can, even if it's just a small task of sitting at the computer, turning it on, opening FL Studio.
Right.
When I am completely lost, I try to turn more towards, I try to be the opposite.
You
The
lean
more
into
tired
it.
I am, I lean into it. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's
That's a good way to
interesting.
put it.
I've never thought about that.
Because that, I feel like, just makes me stronger. People want to take the path of least resistance.
Right.
And the harder it is, I try to lean into that difficulty
right.
because I try to feel like there's something I'm getting by doing what's difficult.
Right.
Right.
So in that, Damon, like, what does a normal day feel to you like right now? Like, when you come into the studio, what does it feel like?
A normal day is setting the time to branch into various avenues for us, whether that be setting aside an hour for recording, an hour for producing, or whether we're directing a short film or a commercial that we're trying to get done, or even just filming content in the studio itself.
We've lost that ability to kind of be willy-nilly.
Right.
Right.
I think the
Or
biggest
very more
change is
structured.
it's not just coming in and being like, hey, Big B, we're going to have studio time tomorrow, and then coming in with zero plan.
Right. No preparation.
We've got to have a plan.
Right.
There's too many moving aspects. Like you said, having to dedicate an hour here, an hour to this. I think the biggest thing for me is checking content schedules, working on session schedules,
Right.
assigning roles for what are we doing, our responsibilities. We've got to mix songs. We've got to record the songs. We've got to master the songs. We've got to mix content. We've got to post the content.
Right. There's a
We've
lot
got
of
to
things
write
that
the
go into
captions.
that.
We've got to write the outlines for the podcast. There's so many things. Without that preparation.
Like
My
we
bad.
said, it's not just press, play, and record. There's a lot that goes into that process. And even some days when you don't have the energy, you still have to show up. So the real question is, why do we keep doing this, boys?
Because deep down, I've got to say, I mean, we know there's something here. And nobody else sees it yet. But that doesn't matter.
I have a question for both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you come back to something that's not assured?
I would say the endless possibilities that we have when it comes to making music, you know, and to really inspire others to really follow their dreams, even if it's not music. We want to inspire others to follow their dreams. So that's why I feel like for me, that's why I keep coming back.
I think that's important. Ben, why not just stop and live a normal life? What is so strong about the calling for music to you?
It's my pure innocent love for what I do. This is my normal. I think I've got a delusional belief that, like Big B said, we can impact people and we can inspire others. I think that's what speaks more so than the music. When I tell people I'm creating music, a lot of the people think that I just want to, you know, record and release music, but it's more that goes behind it. Like we said, it's the whole creative process of it and everything that goes with that. I think that people lose hope in their dreams too soon. And being able to be that inspiration of just do what makes you happy and go after it, even if it takes a lot of work.
Right.
And always chase your purpose. Do what fulfills you. If I did anything else, I wouldn't be fulfilled. And so why would something that doesn't fulfill you be your normal?
Right.
And everybody's normal is different, you know. See, living normal to me is doing everything in my power to become successful, and also holding myself accountable while doing that.
A big thing is just remembering what you're doing it for. Like, how did your passion shape you to get where you're here now?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You don't want to lose, not even in a heritage sense, but just the things that make you on your journey. Like, you want to stay authentic to yourself in that way.
Yeah, remember why you started. And that can be, don't get lost in the process and don't get distracted by other things that may come along the way. I feel like.
Right.
wanna
We
get
what
caught
we
up.
used to say, don't get lost in the sauce.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that's the perfect analogy for it. It's like, don't get lost in the process. Just understand how beautiful the process is when you're doing it.
You don't always have proof. Sometimes you're just moving off of strictly belief. But that belief gets tested. We've had moments where it feels like this could fall apart altogether before it's even really started.
Right.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I think we've had multiple moments like that where it didn't work. We've had moments where we have lost it all and we have broken. Like you said, this can be taken away in an instant.
Yeah.
Right.
Big B, when did it feel like it might not work? What almost broke you as a man or as a person?
I say what almost broke me is the couple times where I wanted to quit myself. Because at a point in time, I just felt like I didn't have what it took to continue making music. And I would say that's on a number of things. That could be me self-doubting myself. That could be what I'm hearing. But what I will say is, like, when something almost breaks you, it kind of makes you better in a sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I will say.
I kind of want to dig a little deeper on this before we move on to the next topic, which is really just it's the doubt and struggle and where we're at and trying to balance our life. And I kind of just want to take the music aside from it. From a
Right.
person's perspective, you're in your mid 20s.
Right.
You're living with constant doubt, constant struggle. I mean, besides chasing your dreams, there's constant things that have broken all of us down.
Right.
And there's things
Yeah.
that take us out, especially as you get older. You have family problems.
Right.
You've got work problems.
Things
Right.
always building up.
I mean, I just want to tap into the fact that it's hard. What have we learned from the times we've broken down?
Something that I've learned is that you can always get up. Like
Yeah.
my dad taught me and Big B that no matter how hard you fall, regardless if you keep failing, you can get
You
up.
have to get up.
And it's a big thing about, yes, we're gonna face adversity in our life, right? Things will
Right.
get hard, times will be challenging. There might be days where you feel like you can't do anything, you can't get anything
Right.
right. You feel like you're just, wasting time, right?
Yeah.
But that's normal, that's human nature. How we respond to those emotions and those feelings, that shows our character.
Right.
Absolutely.
And even besides the music, whenever you're trying to do something and you're not feeling like doing it, it could be difficult.
Right.
It could be really difficult. Finding the good and the bad is a great thing. Finding the bad in your struggle is a great thing.
Yeah. When you mentioned when you respond, I want to tell people don't beat yourself up if it takes you a while to respond. Everyone
I
has a
think that's a
time.
hard thing for me.
Right.
Like we've mentioned before, everything broke down probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
And it took us, me and Big B specifically, a long time to be able to come back from that and respond.
Sure.
And so from the outside, any given person probably would have just thought we'd given up. We
Right.
completely went
Right.
AWOL. And we did give up. But in my head, I always knew I was going to come back. And that was what was the biggest thing, is trying to take the time to figure out my life. Every day it's going to feel like it might not work. But that's only when you allow and feed that thought. And that's what took us so long to respond, is we kept enabling ourselves into believing that, well, shit, we had our chance and we lost it. And
Right.
so how are we going to keep going? And we had to kind of reinforce ourselves. So can we do this again? And you've got to be able to just do what you can.
Right.
There's tons of times where we felt like we haven't been good enough. There's tons of times where our skills haven't been there. I think that held us back, is thinking we weren't where we needed to be as an artist, as a rapper, as a mixer, as a producer.
Right.
Right.
And we were too scared to post things that weren't good. I definitely think that don't allow the fear of sucking to hold you back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Be okay putting things out that aren't good, because you learn a lot.
Right. The feedback
Right.
can guide you in a whole nother direction that you might not have even been thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. The struggle, the doubt, it's all going to be there. And those moments, they're either going to break you or they force you to level up. And honestly, those are the moments where the real growth starts.
The hard path is teaching us things that the easy path could never. So, Damon,
Yes, sir.
what are we actually learning right now?
I would say the main things that we're learning is how to expand, like I was saying earlier, expand on our craft. Like,
Right.
whether it be like you listening to different types of music, different genres, and how they record themselves, how they conduct themselves in the studio. Like, I think right now, a time for all of us is just about, we kind of said it at the beginning of the year when we kind of went over how 2025 was going.
Yeah.
This is more like a year of growth and
And learning.
research, developing ourselves. Like, I think
Foundation
that's
year.
exactly, it's a
Yep.
foundational year. I think it's really important that we kind of augment the things that we already know, in a sense. We
Mhm.
want to make sure that not only do you just know, like, on the surface level, the tactics and things to record, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You want to also know, like, little tips and tricks and things that you can give people along the way, whether it be for
Right.
your music or for somebody else's music. Things that we
Yeah.
can attribute to different songs, whether it be we're trying to find this trap sound, or we're trying to go straight into like a Drake
Right.
melodic vibe, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the biggest thing we're learning too is doing more than just making the music and the
Mhm.
process that goes behind being an artist.
Right.
Being
Right.
actually someone in the industry. It's not just making music. Like we've said, there's so many
Right.
other things we have to pay attention to.
Mhm.
You got to pay attention to how people react to things when you post them.
Right.
Right.
Be honest, be able to be your good self-critic. did what I just dropped hit or did it not? And even though you like it, be able to accept like, okay, maybe that didn't work.
Right.
Now I got to go back to the drawing board. Let me do it again.
Use it as a learning experience.
Yeah. And then you got to learn how to build. You got to learn how to stay disciplined. And then the biggest thing is planning and creating consistently.
Having it structured, having a structured organization is key. Like now, I feel like we're more organized than we were 3 months ago. You know,
Right.
and
Way more organized.
and
building templates.
That's
and
just due to
outlines.
building, us going through things and being like, hey, this doesn't work. We need to fix it.
How can we adjust this?
Right.
Yeah.
So
The structure, before you go on, Big B, the structure is we're completing things 5 times faster than we ever were before.
Absolutely.
There's no longer studio days that are just being wasted.
So with all the learning we're doing right now, how are we changing as people, Ben? How are we growing?
I hit on it earlier that we're learning lessons that we're going to need later. You mentioned earlier when we were talking, Big B, about something your aunt told you.
Yeah.
And there's been tons of times in my life, and I think anyone will realize it as an adult,
Right.
that there's something that you went through maybe a year ago, a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then it circles back of, oh shit, that was
Right.
what, that, like the lesson you learned or what your parents tell you when you're younger, you'll
Right.
understand later in
Yeah.
life.
It's like a retrospective
And-
thing.
Yeah.
You got to look inward and
Yeah.
think about it.
And sometimes it takes a while. You'll get told something 3 or 4 times, and then 5 years later, you'll have some random epiphany and be like, oh,
This
I
is
get
we're
what was
talking
going
about.
I
on.
get what they were saying.
Yeah. Definitely
And
have
so
that.
learning that even though it's slow and even though things are hard right now, there's something to take from it. There's always something to take from the struggle. There's always something to take from the doubt.
It's,
Damon?
it's really about our experiences as a whole.
Mhm.
I think a big thing, kind of what you were touching on, we don't want to be too hard on ourselves in the end result.
Right.
We got to take the time to appreciate how we're getting there, what we're learning along the way. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the end result might not always be what we want,
Mhm.
but sometimes it is, and when it is, it's a result of that process.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
we're taking the time to do all the necessary, like, think of like requisites, the necessary things to level up in that aspect, whether it be, okay, we want to start trying to make these specific types of beats. We have to master the craft and learning what these types of sounds are that they're trying to portray. Like, we understand that it's moody, it's melodic. Okay, what are they using to get there?
Right.
Yeah.
What is making the beat sound airy but still having the volume that we need, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
why is it moody? Just
Right.
asking deeper questions, trying to understand more and more of the why.
It's like an onion. You're peeling the layers to figure out what's actually going
That's
on.
crazy. Like we said, we're not just getting better at music. We're becoming better people. So if anybody's in the same position as us right now, and you're trying to build something, I would say keep going. You know, you never know what can happen if you just be consistent.
If you're tired, uncertain, and still showing up, you're not failing. Dude, you're just building. You're in the middle of it.
It's got to be a glass half full thing. You got to look at it from the positive aspect. I think a big thing that I've been kind of preaching to Big B and to Ben as well is just that we want to manifest the things that we put in our life, right? We want to speak up the good things.
Right.
Try, like, for example, whether you're telling a joke, say you're telling like a self-deprecating joke, you don't
Yeah.
want to put those things like in the air.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
even if you say things like that, it's still,
Still-
putting that
still
thought out, and it's
negative
still
energy.
you're putting
was about
negative
to
energy
say.
out into the world, and it's still lingering in your brain. So
Absolutely.
we want to cut things like that out, if that makes sense. Like we said before, keeping the right people around and having the right mindset. Those are the 2 things that build you up the most for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, Big B and Ben Low,
Yes, sir.
what would you say to someone in our position, someone working, tired, still chasing something that they believe in?
I would say we're all learning in this journey, and it's gonna get hard, and there's gonna be days where it gets rough, but if you keep going, like I said, you never know where it'll take you. You never know who's out there listening to your music. So I would say keep going. I would say that I feel like this journey has made us better people, and I would love to continue this path. And I know all that we need to do is be consistent. So that's what I would say. Just be consistent.
So, Ben, specifically for you, someone that's working really hard and still chasing what they believe in, what would you say to that person if you had to give them any advice?
Biggest thing, like I said, from anybody that may be in our position right now, someone trying to build something and still trying to manage their own life and everything that's going on, and everyone's life is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on yourself and just do what you can. And I think a pivotal thing for me, what I had to learn in my life, is you've got to love yourself.
Right.
And what I mean by
It's a big
that
thing.
That's a big thing.
is it's so easy to beat yourself up
Mhm.
when things are hard. It's so easy to lose the belief. It's so
Right.
easy to just go with what everyone else is doing.
Right.
When you're doing something that's different, you're going to get a lot of resistance from it because you're
definitely.
going the
Facts.
opposite direction as everyone
You're not
else.
doing
Right.
what everybody
And
wants.
some friction.
And so love yourself because you're the only person sometimes that's going to be in your corner.
Facts.
Amen.
There's
that.
going to go through a lonely phase. And to be able to go through that lonely phase, you've got to be the person that picks yourself up.
Right.
Facts.
You can't rely on anybody. So manage your personal life. And then I also want to say be humble, be smart. Don't be that person that bets it all on black. Don't think that your music career is just going to pop off. Don't think that you're going to be famous any day.
Yeah, it don't work like that. You know?
Got to still
work like
manage
that.
your adult responsibilities. You got to pay your
Facts.
bills. You've got to have a job if you need to get funds. You've got to hang out with your family. You've got to
Right.
hang out with your friends still. You can't just put everything into one avenue.
Can't.
There's got to be balance in everything. Like I said, don't bet it all on black. Bet $1 on black for the next 25 years. Consistency. Do it over and over again. Your odds are going to be better in the long run. And just take your time. That's all I can say. Be the person that's always going to pick yourself back up, love yourself, and keep going.
And it's a hard task to be able to do that. Like, it's easier said than done, especially when, I don't know for y'all, but specifically for me, when you're putting so much pressure on yourself to like try and not even be perfect, but fit a certain mold. You're trying to
Yeah.
like portray yourself in a certain way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between holding yourself accountable and being tough on yourself.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
like how we grew up, like we understand tough
yeah.
love, but there's a difference, right?
There's a difference, yeah.
The root and the cause of that has to be with good intentions, if that
Right.
makes sense. Like the self-improvement and the bettering of yourself, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's the most important
Mhm.
aspect. I feel like us as people in general, we need to make sure that our actions are being taken from the place in your heart,
Right.
rather than just like how you're feeling or whatever the case may be, if that makes sense. The dream only dies when you stop feeding it. If there's one thing I can leave with you, it's this quote. It's not supposed to be easy, but that's what makes the process worth it in the end.
We're still building, still learning, still figuring it out. But we're still here. And sometimes that's all it takes to keep the dream alive. That's all you need. This has been Original Minds, an Intrisio podcast. Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is what we're learning as we build Intrisio. We're not trying to pretend like we know anything. We're not trying to pretend like we made
Right.
it. The whole point of this is to show you the process, to show you behind the scenes, to show you guys who are literally learning as they're going,
In the
Facts.
present,
getting better every day, hopefully.
actively
So,
working towards
We're
it.
not professionals. Take what we say with a grain of salt. We're just giving y'all our insights, a piece of ourselves, and
perspective.
sharing it with y'all. And
We-
for anybody else out there.
Yes, sir. And we'd love to know what y'all think as well.
Yeah,
Right.
please give us feedback. Let us know where we're going wrong. Let us know if what we said something that you disagree
You
with.
disagree.
Right. If you
yeah.
feel strongly about
Create a conversation
topic
with
or a
us.
conversation, let us know.
Let us know.
Absolutely. It's the whole point. So reach out to us, guys. Follow us at Intrisio. We've got new projects on the way. We've got a project from Audrey coming. Got a project
Sure.
from Big B coming.
On the way.
True.
And Intrisio has a hard launch coming this week. We've got a commercial dropping. We've got content coming daily. Y'all have no idea what's in store for you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Are you
See
ready?
you next time. And have a good week.
Peace.
Feeling lately? They tryna get me, baby. I swear they hate on my confidence. Shooting star, you know you can't market this. Shooting star, you know you can't market this.